There must be a data type. Just please a minute. Let me switch out my this thing, my inverter. They just took the light now. Just a minute. No, datas, right? Data type. So let me create a class 4. So today I'm going to be using external JavaScript. I'm going to be using external JavaScript. So data types represent the kind of values that variable can hold, right? The kind of a value that a variable can hold. So that is data type. Now, one thing about JavaScript is that if I say, for instance, I have let name equals to, let's say, skyline, right? Now, when you look at this, the data type is tied with the variable. This is the data, right? So this data has a type, a type of string. So data type, like I said, represents the kind of values that the variable can hold, right? Now, variable can hold any kind of data. Variable can hold any kind of what? Any kind of data. Let's say age equals to 20, right? So this a number. So we are going to be looking at different types of data type in JavaScript, right? Different kinds of data types in JavaScript and what we can use those data types to. Now, every data, picture, images, any type of data at all in JavaScript must have its types. Very, very important. So let's say, for instance, we have this. We have different types of data. First, we have what we call primitive data. So those primitive data are like numbers, string, booleans, undefined, which has to do with true or false. Then we have null, we have symbols, right? So we are going to be looking at specifically the primitive data. We also have composite data that has to do with the object, arrays, and functions. So we're going to also be looking at that. Now, JavaScript dynamically types different kind of data. So those data, when declaring them, you need to declare those data in a variable. Let's say you went to a store to get something. When you get to a store to get something, they calculate the total item you've bought, and then print it out for you, right? So those figures you are seeing there, they have data type. So also in the number also, we have this. So this is also a data type of a number, right? So we are going to be looking at the primitive data type and their meaning, right? So the primitive data type and their meaning.
Hello,
so
sir.
quickly.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
All right.
Are you sharing your screen, sir? I can't see your screen. And I wanted to ask if you are recording.
Yes, can anybody see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
I can see your screen, boss.
Okay, let's move on, please. So let's say primitive data. Primitive data type. So one of the primitive data type we have is what we call a string. Please mute your mic. A string. So let's look at the string, a number. Let's start from a string. So now the string represent, excuse me, a string represents sequence of characters, right? Sequence of characters. eh, they are enclosed within what? A single or a double bracket, right? So this is what we have. So a string represents sequence of characters which is enclosed within a double or a single quote. So this string, how can we check the data type of a string? How to know when, okay, this is a data type, right? How do we identify this is a data type? Let's say here we have age, we have price. Console.log, let's confirm the data type. Then you say the type of name is. So the type of name is, so let's call the type. So this JavaScript have inbuilt type of, right? Inbuilt type of, where you can use to get the type of an object. So that's what the inbuilt type of does. So here we have length, right? Sorry, not length, rather name, okay, inbuilt type of what? Name. Now if we open this thing either in our terminal or in our browser. So let's quickly open this in our browser. So I needed to create an HTML that can connect this file. Quickly create data type.html. So here we have data type. So what we are going to do here is to call our script, not script rather, but we are going to link using scripts. So inside here, you need to just declare the source where you are linking from. Of course, I'm linking from class. I'm linking from datatype.js. So let's quickly view this and then go to our console and see what's happening. Close all these ones, we don't need them. So when you come here, you will see that the data type of name is what? It's a string. So like I told you, a string represents a sequence of what? Characters. So you can see this is a sequence of characters that represent what? String. Now let's move into confirm another of the data type we have. Here, come back here. We also call console.log. Then what are we logging? We are logging price. Sorry. The data type of price is. So what we are going to call a type of, right? Type of, then price. Okay, we need to just command here to concatenate. Right, so if we view this in our browser, what you are going to see is a type of number. So every JavaScript has a type representative. Now, if I come here and say, okay, let people, right? Let people. Now, I have declared a variable. Let's try to see the type of this. Console. the log the type of people is, so let pass in type of people. All right, so let's quickly check that out again. So you can see the type of people is undefined. This is another data type. And what is this undefined? Right? Undefined. The undefined represent a variable that has been declared but not assigned any value. Right? So data type is of undefined. So when you are working on a software, maybe you are building a software and you have this bug undefined. So what it's trying to say is that undefined represent a variable that has been declared but not what? Not assigned what? A value. So we declare this variable, but there's no value attached to it. So this is giving us what? A value of what? A data type of what? Of undefined. So let's move on quickly to other data type. The next data type we are going to be looking at here is called Boolean. Right? It's called what? Boolean. Now, let's do something. We can also use the data type, right, to check if a particular data is a type of social data. I can say, okay, check if this data type is a number, right? If this data type is equals to this. Now, I also like you to tell this to Cognizant. I'll come here and say, okay, this is a data type undefined, right? I'll copy this man. Okay, I'll decide, okay, if any user want to enter anything, I want to check the data type. If the data type is not equals to that thing, or equals to that data type, it should not allow the code to be executed. I'll come here and say, okay, come here to type if, of course, you know what if means. So here is where we're passing what? Our condition. So this is where we're passing our condition. So the condition is a logic. So if the condition is true, then this code should execute. Do something, right? If the condition is true, it should what? Do something, not else. Do another thing. So if this condition is true, do something. So what are we going to do here? We can decide it's okay. We want to check if the people data type is undefined. So we can say if type of people, of course, remember when we do equals to. So this equals to is what we will use to get the accurate without converting it to any. So if the people is equals to undefined, if the type of people is equals to undefined, which is true. So man means when this condition is true, it should what? It do something. So it can decide to say, okay, if this man has paid school fees, if this man has this, if this man has this, then do this or do this, right? Do this or do this. If this, time is equals to 8 p.m., if investment is greater than 30 days, if this, so you must understand this if statement. Almost all the logic, everything you are building in a software, in an app, must have to do with logic. If this is not like this, it should be like this. So just like the way human brain function, it cannot be at a place, in multiple places at a time. It is not possible. Either you are here or you are there. But if you are seeing here and you are seeing it there, that means it is what it is for you. All right. So As okay, if this is true, what are you going to do? Let's call console the log. What is this man going to do, right? Data you enter is undefined, right? If this type of people is equal to this data you enter is undefined, and I say s console.log this enter the correct data to perform this task, right? So this code is very simple. If we come back to our this, you can see that data you enter is what is undefined, right? Then we'll come back here and try to assign something here, an empty string. Let's see if this data is still undefined. Remember, undefined datas, right? Undefined datas are datas that have been assigned variable but not what, not that have been declared but that don't have any word, any value. So let's quickly come back and check. You notice that please enter the correct data to perform this task. So let me quickly add more primitive data before I wrap up on this data type. So the next data type we are having on is called boolean, right? The next data that comes on boolean, I can tell you, say let student equals to true, and let school underscore fees equals to false. Okay, right? Now let's confirm this data. Of course, this data will give us what we call boolean, right? So what we are going to do here, come here and say console.log type of student, right? I can say the type of student is, then close this thing and put comma, right? The type of student is, they will give you a data type called what? Boolean, right? Boolean value. So this is called the boolean value. Of course, the boolean value will represent a logic value indicating true or what, or false. Something can either be true or either be what, false. So this type of student is what? Boolean. So you can see they have a boolean data. So here it's called so this value indicates a boolean. What's that spelling of boolean? Hold on, let me check the spelling here. A boolean value. Let me just copy and paste. So boolean value. So this value indicate boolean value. This and this are the same word. They are the same data. So let's move on. Another data that we have here. Regarding the primitive data You only have one, which I'm going to also write here. We have no, right? No is really not popular. But for this, basically, these are just few primitive data. So you can go and read more about data type. Read more about data type, and this is what I'm done with the data type. I'm here to just give you the basic, so that we can have time to start building project. So when you see me building using those data, you understand, okay, these guys have used this thing before, this is how it works. So we'll move on. Now, please, the assignment for this. The assignment for this. Assignment for this data. Now, Prezo, please take cognizance of this. This is assignment number 1 for data type. So build an app that check the input data of a user, data type of a user. So you are going to use prompt, right? Prompt. So when you run the app, it will show a prompt, right? So build an app that check the input data type of a user. When the user enter a value, it should check if the value is not defined data type. The app should give you an error. Also, create an app that identifies a data type of the user which he has inputted. So number 1, the app you are going to build is 2 apps. One is to build an app that check the data type of a user. So if it checks, when you type in a value, it will check if that data is undefined. It will check the type of the data and then print the type of that data. So you enter 2021. So it will check the type of that data. I want you to add 2 data type. 1, Boolean. 2, okay, leave Boolean. That will give you a tough time. 1 is string and numbers. So when you enter a string, it should tell you that, okay, what the data you enter is a string. When you enter a number, it should tell you the data you enter is a number. So that is it. So you need to create an app that can be able to check the data type that you have entered. So that is number 1 assignment. That's number 1 assignment. Other data type we have is objects, arrays, right? Array and objects. So let's look at array as other data type we have, right? So we're going to look at arrays. These are primitive data types, right? Those primitive data types, let me take this up.
Hello, hi Chief. Please repeat the assignment again, just for clarity.
Okay. The assignment is that they are going to build an app using the prompt. So when they run the app, it should come up with a prompt. When they type, let's say they type a particular figures or a particular input, that application should print and then dictate the types of that data. For example, I put in a number. It will say, welcome. The data type is what you put. Data type is. So what happening there is that when you put write a program that can be able to recognize the input data type of that user, display using the HTML, not on the console. If it displayed on the console, I will fail you. Make it, design it very well. When the user comes, let him enter the username, full name, then enter a data type. So when he put name and click next, it will pop up another one. He will record that name you have inputted. User then cohort, it will pop up. Then another one is full name. So this assignment will be a group assignment, but has to be submitted as individual assignment. So you are required to deploy this app on GitHub and submit it. This is number 1 assignment. So let's move on to another data type, which is array and object. So today we're only going to be covering array. So the next topic that we are going to cover in today is an array. Of course, after we are done with array, we still have a topic of array, a practical that we need to do with array. So this is number 1 practical on data type. So I believe this, whatever I've done here is very simple. And I would like to congratulate some cohorts that have taken it as a responsibility to always meet and help those who could not maybe understand during the live class. I really appreciate you guys. But these couples of days I've been in various cohorts, I'm well motivated. In fact, I am very, very motivated. My spirit and everything has awakened. I will congratulate you guys for that. You guys are doing well, and I will urge you to keep it up. There's some cohort I usually meet almost every day. In order to put some people through, they will look at a particular topic and look at that topic, appoint somebody that will teach that topic, that will go and do research on that particular topic and come and teach them. This is how you know people who want to go far in life. Not the people that will rely on what Skyline is teaching them. The reason why you are in cohorts is to build this synergy among yourself. A tree cannot make a forest. It is not how far. It's not how fast, but it's how far, how well. That's why you are there as a cohort group. So if your cohort is not meeting to be able to deliberate on what we've taught in class and also explore all that option, there are some cohort they've really done with data types. They have covered all these data types. The one I'm teaching here. So that what I'm teaching here will give them more clarity of what they have learned in that cohort meeting. Please, I want to urge the whole cohort leader, please. As a leader, whatever, the way you take care of your cohort is the way you will rule Nigeria if you have the opportunity tomorrow. So I want to congratulate all those leaders who are meeting to deliberate and to brainstorm among themselves, and to also help other cohort members that are not efficient. So thank you very much for that. So we are going to moving ahead on a topic, arrays, right? Array. That we're going to be looking at array. What is array, and how we can use array. So I am not creating. Let me create. I'm not creating anything. Sorry, I have to return this file. Let me return this. I think it's also very important to create. Let me create this. Very important. So I'm going to create here array.js. So I'm also going to quickly this array.js. All right. Now, what are arrays? Right. I'd like anybody. I'd like somebody to share with us what array means. Right. What is array? What you understand about array? Team lead. Anybody that
That guy.
indicate?
Go
Can they
ahead.
call the person?
That guy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here, my president. Good evening, everyone. To my best of understanding, array is a type of data that can hold a lot of values at the same time. Having one variable, but it can hold a lot of values at the same time. This value can be accessed through the index number. That is all about array. Thank you.
Okay. That's nice. All right. I'll take it that. I'll take it from you. Now, arrays, like you said, arrays is a data structure that allow to store multiple value under a single variable. Now, let me give you an explicit example and why array is very important. We are going to be creating an object, right? A variable, then assign a value. Now, array can hold many value under a single variable name, right? Now, storing a particular value, a particular variable, storing a multiple, let's say a multiple variable, storing a multiple value in a variable. This is how it look like if you don't have array. Let's say I want to store names of students, right? I can say let names of students equals to then I have what does my student name self let's say John, right? Let names of students 2 goes to the guy, right? Then let names of student 3 goes to config. Right. Now, so when you store names of students in a single variable, this is how it look like, right? So you need to be creating, each of the students need to be creating variables for them, and this did not look good, didn't look cool. So we are going to be coming up with an array structure on how we are going to achieve this in just a single variable and access it, right? So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to look how we're going to come up with this in a single variable, then have all this information that we recorded in a single variable, right? So like I told you, array allow you to store multiple value under a single variable. It allows you to store multiple value under a single variable. How do we create array? Now, array can contain different types of data, including numbers, string, object, and other arrays function, so on and so forth. So there is not specific data information that array needs to hold or has to hold. For you to be able to store this multiple value, for you to be able to store multiple data in a variable, you are required to use array. So array are a group of data structures. So they are group of data structures. For just a single variable, you can have thousands of data stored in a single variable. It can be pictures, it can be videos, it can be any types of data at all. It is not tailored at one data or a specific data. No, any data at all. So let's see how we can achieve this by writing what array. So array, for you to write array, you need a what? An angle square bracket. So we say let's, excuse me. So we can say let's profession, let profession equals to. So this is an array. Are you getting me? This is an array. The array are also an object, right? They are type of objects. They are under what? Types of what? An object. So if you try to check the type of this object, or type of this variable or value, it is what? Is an array. Under what? Object. So arrays are objects. They are under the, what do they call them? So like I told you earlier, we have two types of data. First, the primitive data and the composite data type. So these data types are under what? Array. So array represent an order of lists accessed by numeric. Now, array can be accessed by what? Indentation. I'm going to show you how the indentation look like. So array can be accessed by what? By indentation. So there are types of what? Objects. So when we come to object, we'll get more explicit explanation on objects. So array store this multiple data. You have seen the reason why you need to use array. What if you have 10,000 of data to store? You need to be creating variable, and storing them one by one. No, array have resolved what? This issue for you. So let me move ahead. So what we are going to do here is that we have list of profession, right? So First, we are going to have developer comma. The next one is data oriented software engineer. Product dev, product design. So this is how you can create what? An array object. So here we have an array object. So like I told you earlier, array, right? Array are the what? Can hold multiple value. So you can look at it, you can see that we have what? Multiple what value. Let's quickly print this and see what's going to happen. Here we have let's print this on our console. We have console.log, then we have professional. Come back to then. Now when you look at this, you notice that we have, and I believe you can see my screen. Let me zoom this a little bit. You notice that we have this square brackets. In this square bracket we have developer, data oriented, software engineer, product dev, product design. Now here you see indentation. So that means every array, right? Every array objects or every array value must have an identification. So here we have 0, here we have 1, here we have 2, here we have 3, here we have 4. The reason why you are having 0 is because the computer of course starts with 0, right? 0 and 1. So when you look at this is the value of array. Then when you come here, look at the length of this array is 5. Why are we having 5 at the length? I mean object, how many value do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the length of this array of professional what is 5. So array can have multiple what value. It holds multiple value under a single variable. Of course, what we use to the variable we use to assign this array is named for professional. So in this array variable can have what multiple values. So for you to have multiple values, you need to call out what array using the angle breaker. In other programming language like Python, it is called list, right? But in JavaScript, it's called what? Array. Now, let's see what we're going to be looking at is to look at the length of this array and how we can be able to access array. So you can access array, you can update array, you can delete what? Array. So that's what we are going to be looking at. We access array, we delete array, we update what? The array. So the first thing we are going to do here is to first see how we can access the array and then print the length of the array, right? The length of the array. So what we are going to do quickly is that here we come up here and call console.log. So inside here we pass in the profession, then we pass in the square bracket, right? So we put 0 here. Let me comment on it. If we put this 0 here, of course what we are getting is what? What we are getting is what? Developer, right? Let's say I want to get just inside the array, I want to just get a single value, just a single value. So what I need to do is to call this, and then when I do that, let me also comment on this. This is what we are getting. We are getting def. So if I put 2, we are getting data oriented. If we put 3, we are getting software engineering. If we put 3, we are getting product dev. To assess this, what we need to do is then comment on this and see what's going to happen. So here we are having what? Dev, right? Let's get more explicit. Let's make it more explicit. The index number of 0 is. So this is called index number. So this is called what? An index. So sometimes when you are reading, maybe going through someone program, and you are seeing a variable with this, it means that it assesses the word, the first word in the first value. When you scroll down here, of course you see that the index of 0 is what? Is developer. So this is how you can assess array. What are we when you want to access all the array and you don't want this value or this value to tag along? We are going to be doing this when we start learning loop. Of course, we are going to also do that tonight. The next thing we are going to do is that how to also create array and then provide the element data. So you decided, okay, what I want to do here is that I just want to create an empty array, then use it in the later on, right? So let's quickly do that. I'll come here. Let me create another variable. Let's list underscore cohort, right? Equals to this. I have signed array, an empty array. So if I want to maybe update this, let's say you are writing a program and you are going to be using array. I want the array list to be a global variable, right? So what you need to do is to store it first, then before start writing your function. You can use it later. Let's say here I want to add some value. Also understand that array have what? Indentation, right? Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Sorry. When you look at these numbers, so these are index representation of what? Of array. What I'm going to do next is I will be adding value on this list of cohorts using the word the index. Cannot just add them without providing the index. So you need to provide the index where you want them to stay. Let's say for it, what I'm going to do now is that, of course, I've already created this on a variable. So let's quickly use that. List cohort. Then remember what we did here. For us to access the 0 index, the first one, what we did was to call the word the angle word square bracket and then provide the index number. So bear in mind that the index array is stored based on using the word the index number. So equals to, yeah, I'm going to have so I'm going to provide, sorry, not equal to rather. So in that variable, like we did here, the variable I'm providing let's say I'm providing 0, then assigning, I will now assign the value for that 0, code 17 or code 12, right? The next thing, I will also do the same thing, of course, assign 1, code 15, right? Now the code 12 and code 15. So what I'm going to do is to quickly come here to confirm what I've did, if what I've done is if it's working. Then of course I have list of what this. If I print this, Let's comment on this so we can have more space to work with. So when you come here, you scroll down, you notice that we have cohort 12 is assigned to index 0. Cohort 1 is assigned to index 0. We can also do it randomly. Let's do randomly now. I have 5 goes to code 19, right? So when I come here, you see that we have this. Scroll down. We have this index of 5 as what? Cohort 19. So that's how you can assign, how you can add a value in array after you've declared the variable. So moving ahead, the next thing we are going to do here is to how we can update, right? We will update what? Update our array. Let's say we want to update something on this array, right? What we are going to do is very simple. Like I told you, always work with the indentation, right? I would say to get more elaborate, let me do this. Developer equals to 0 and data rented equals to 1, right? Software equals to 2, etc. and etc. So let's say I want to update this, right? I'll come here calling the variable. So of course console okay, let me just say update, let update updated underscore profession, right? Let update underscore profession equals to, so I call the profession. Here I'm going to pass in an index number I want to update. Let's say I want to update software engineer, because you know that software engineer has the index of what? Of 2. So where I'm passing 2 here, then assign equals to, then this is what I want to assign. I will say back in, sorry, back in engineer. So if I come here to console.log, what's done with my listen now? See me while
I chief, just use log to bring the option out.
Okay.
That is faster.
All right. So what we are going to do here is update, right? Let's print the updates and see what's going to happen. So make the print the updates. You notice that in that update we are having backend word engineer. So backend engineer has been added in our array. Now another thing also is to check the length of our array. Very important. So let's check the length of this array. Let's first check the length of this array from here. So I can decide to say call console console.log professional dots, right? So the professional, there's a lot of things you can do with professional. You can do dot find, dot fill, dot this, dot index of, dot join, dot. There's a lot. There's a lot. But like I said, I'm teaching you the basic. So when we start building, all this we make use of it when we are building. Then when you see all those, you know that okay, this is what this is working for. You may not understand about the functionality of array, just the basic you are good to go. So when we are building, well, major thing to understand what array is used for and how to assign array. So we will talk about all those other in the decision letter, so we don't have much time. So professional dot length, right? Dot length. So what we are doing here is to check the length of this object. So let me be more explicit. Here we have the length of data in this array is. So here, let's quickly see what's going to happen. Then scroll up a little bit. The length of data in this array is what? Is 5. Let's also check the second array, which is this console log. Then I having update this, copy this, copy, then bring it here, right? So this will give us 6, right? So the length of this is what? The length of data is, okay, let's scroll down. Okay. So the length, so we can also use this to say, okay, to do an if statement. If the data inside is not this, tell the person you've existed to your limit. So that is it. So after I've done that, of course, the length of data in array is 17. Is it true?
Yes. We are having 3 empty array in the middle.
I don't understand how you guys calculate that cell.
So one, these are the calculated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 6 and it's telling us 17.
No, when you assign one, when you assign 18 in the array, you gave it number 5.
Okay, yes,
which
yes.
Is, you have already created 3 empty arrays in the middle.
Exactly. So this is why I'm having this 17. If you notice here, I have this as number 5, right? You cannot here. Let's please assign something. Okay, yeah, this is a. Hold on.
It's right there, the third one.
So I think you're not taking this sincerely. That's why it's confusing.
Hold on. So what do we assign here? We assign 2. I think.
Sir, it is in line 18. You assign index 5 to cohort cell 19, and we are only having I think 4 or 5 digits. So he has already created 3 empty array. Okay, we are having 0, 1. Then you created 5 again. So 0 and 1. Then the space between them before the 5, it will create it automatically.
No.
If you check the console, you will see it there.
No.
We have ×3 empty array ×3.
No, this is it. It's different variable, not the same. This is a different variable.
That's the thing now.
So I'm trying.
Are not the same.
I'm trying to check. Hold on. let's check this console.log. Let's see what we have here. So here, the console.log, the first one we're having 5, right? Let's check this console.log. Hold on. Here is our update. Okay. So let's check that out. This one is different. You can see this empty is just times 2 times 3, but we don't have that there. Are we seeing this man? Let's comment on this first. Console.log this, and let's check what's happened. Here is the update of blah blah blah. Here is the update of. Okay. I think the reason why we are having this issue is because of this indentation of 2. Indentation of 2. So when you add that length, instead of it giving you the right number, it's giving you 17. So I don't know why we're having 17 here, but you need to go and do research to know why we're having 17. What's supposed to have here is 6, because here we have. Okay.
The issue is because updated profession is a string, so when you try to get.
Okay, it counts it as a stream. Okay. It's counting this man as a stream, right?
Yeah. So that line 12.
Yes.
You're not supposed to use let updated profession. Just assign it explicitly. Profession 2
Yes.
equal to backend engineer.
Yes. I think.
So you mean there won't be a code there? Backend engineer will have
There will be a code, but it should not use let updated profession. Just remove that let profession.
Okay, updated profession.
Yes.
Okay, you
Exactly.
remove
So
the variable let.
Yeah.
So what?
Just use profession 2. That profession in square bracket 2 equal backend engineer. That's all.
Hold on.
Then when you want to console log, you are console logging the array itself.
So this
not
is
updated profession. Console log the array itself, not the updated profession. Updated profession is a string.
yes. So I think what we are going to do, here is you don't need to put this variable. This is wrong, right? So this is wrong. So what you need to do is just call this profession,
Then
this.
console.log profession,
Now,
not updated
yes.
profession.
So that's what we need to do. That was a mistake we did. So we don't need to assign this in a variable. Please, you don't need to assign this because you already have the variable. This is a variable you already. So what you need to do is this, and you call the value that is having all the arrays variable that is having all the array value. Then what you will do next is to call the profession 2, then you assign that value. So if you do this control.log length, we are going to have 7. So that is it. So we are going to have 7 here. Of course, yeah, we are going to. Here is our update. Yeah, 5. We are going to have 5 because we have changes. We have removed this. This is no longer there. So this is replacing this. So this back-end engineering is replacing software engineering. So we're still going to have 5, right? We are still going to have 5. So you can also do an add, right? You can also add. If you also want to add this, so what we're going to do is it's very simple. So what if you want to do this, like you want to add an array. There are two ways of doing that, right? So if you want to add element to an array, so what we are going to do is that you can either follow this. So remember, this is when you want to add an empty value in array, when the array is assigned is in undefined. So if array, the variable for that array is undefined, then you will use this, right? So when on so when undefined, you use this. So you can only use this when the array variable is undefined. So what I mean here is that when this man is empty, so let cohort, list of cohort is empty, then this one you use this to add. So let's also learn how to update this array. So sorry, how to add. We've learned how to update the array, like change the value using the word, the index number. Then we change to back-end engineering. So let's also see how we can update. So the two ways to update, right? There is way to update. You can either use indentation or use a multiple update. So let's do that quickly. I can come here and say, remember we have 5 here. The length here is 5, right? So let's add something, add more value on this. So what we'll do is profession dot push, right? Sorry, dot push. So the push will now add additional array on this. Now you can either add multiple value. So let's learn how to add single value first. Then what am I going to add here? A professional, I have pastor. No, pastor is profession. So let's see. Come on with idea. What are we going to add next? The tech related profession.
Lawyer, engineer.
No. We are not adding those. All those people are not be tech related profession. Let's see. Visual.
Data scientist.
System administration.
System admin. Sorry. They
Computer
have
manager.
system admin. This how we can see console.log. Profession. Go to the log profession. Come here and you see that we have 6 now, right? We have system admin. So you can also add multiple, right, in an array. Call console.log profession dot pause. What am I even doing? Okay, sorry. Yeah, we have
Check your console.log. You look,
I'm coming, I'm not done.
not done.
So what we are going to do here is pause. So let's use multiple value dot pause. So dot pause. So what I'm going to do is we'll pass in first inside here we'll pass in user to the next one here. We'll have let me try another one.
Product designer or product designer.
Let's just say front end, right? So right, let's console.log this and then let's quickly check that out. So when it comes in, notice that we are now have 8 arrays, right? 8 arrays. So basically, we also learn how we can delete from array, right? Delete from array.
So please, I have a question.
Okay. So no, let me just finish this one. So we want to delete from array. We can delete using the index. We want delete remove the index. So we'll come here, say profession dot slice, right? Splice, not slice, splice. Then in that splice, you pass in the index. So let's say I want to delete the index of 0, 1, 2. I want to delete the index of 2, then index of 2, then an index of 0. So the index of 0, who can tell me what this one will affect? What are we deleting here? Call the names of the object we are going to delete here.
We are deleting developer.
Okay.
And software engineer.
Exactly. So let's quickly check that out. Let's go to the log. Go to the log. Profession. So
So it's not going to delete anything.
Exactly.
I think it didn't delete, right?
It's going to delete.
That two, the first two stands from the index you want to start deleting, while the second option is how many elements.
It's the number.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So the first is the first one. So sorry.
The first option is the index where you want to start deleting from, while the second option, which is you use
This is
how many elements.
yeah. Let's say we are having a index. Let's say index 2, right? Let me explain this a little better, like what they are saying. So if we want to delete this index, right? So what happens here is that if we have something like this, so here we have 0, 1, and 2. So if we want to delete, for example, I want to delete an index. Let's say this one is an index from the index of 2, right? If you choose index of 2, then there is the next one is how many elements you want to delete. Let's say you want to delete for the index of 2, you want to delete about 2 elements, right? Or 1 element. So what we are going to do here, we put 2. So what happens here is that this will actually delete 2 elements starting from the index of 2, right? So what this will do is that it will delete the 2 elements that start from the index of what? Index of 2, right? So let's see, the first 2 represent the index, while the last 2 represent the numbers of elements. So when you look at this, so these first 2 represent the index, the second represent the number, right? Guys, are we right? Are we in the right track?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see what's going to happen. So now when we come here now, you notice that we only have 5 elements. Which element do we delete? When you come here, you see that 0, 1, 2. So this is deleting from software engineer. Yeah, software engineering. So we come here, you not see software engineering, right? You not see software what? Software engineering. Then from software engineering, let's go back. Then product design. So you notice that he deleted software engineering and product development rather. So software engineering and product development. So what we mean there is that for an index of 2, remember 0, 1 is an index. So 0, 1, 2. So this the software engineer which is equals to 2. So they start from the index of 2, which is software engineer, then move to the next step, which is 2, software engineer and dev. So if you come here and put 3, this will affect software what? Product design. So when you come here, you check, you notice that our product design is no longer there. So that is all for tonight for array, so that we can move on to other. We have about 4 topics to cover tonight. So this is the assignment. Before the person will ask question, hold on. This is the assignment. So kindly listen to the assignment for this array. Assignment for array. So hold on. Okay, now you write an app, a program that deletes an object, right? That deletes a particular student using the indentation. So, for example, if you type 2, are you getting me? That 2, make you type that 2 on command prompt, on your not command prompt, on your browser prompt. You type 2 and enter. So that 2 now will loop into an index of 2 and delete that object, then update the result to your HTML program. Let's say you have a list of students, and there is student that, okay, this student have been expelled. So each of the students should have an index. So let's say for example, the index of those students, the ID of those students is their index. So if the index of the student that was expelled from the school is index of 5, so they want to delete that student from the database. So you get a list of that student. When you come to that prompt, enter the index of the student ID, which is the index. So when they enter that student ID and they click on enter, it will delete and they immediately update the result, the remaining this on the HTML. Do we understand? So that is the attacks assignment for the array. President, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay.
So once again, for clarity, just
all right.
again.
Now, you are to build an app, right? In this app, you have list of students. About 4 students have been expelled, and each of those students is represented by the indentation. So the ID of this student are represented using the indentation. Let's say the student that was expelled is Excel, right? And you want to delete Excel from the portal. So we need to have we need to call Excel by its own indentation. Let's say, for example, you type 2 and enter. So that 2 means that you are deleting an object that is starting from the index of 2. If you type 4, that means you are deleting an object that is starting from index of 4. And if you type an index that does not exist, it will tell you that this index does not exist and return you back to type another index. Is that well understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So those that have their questions, just have I just have like 2 minutes to respond to some questions. Then we'll move on to the next agenda of the teaching. So you have the floor. You pass in profession dot length, right? Profession dot length -1. Then you assign what you want to change. So I want to change it to product dot manager. right? So I'm changing this to product manager. If we come here and console the log, then profession. All right. So when you come here, you see that we have product manager. So look at it here. We have it here as product what? Product manager. You can see there's a product manager. Replace product design to product manager. So this is what we have here. So any other question? Any other question before we move on to the next?
Okay. Not really, but that was. Can we still use the same way to change the first one? Because just change the last one.
Yes, for you to change the first one, you just need to add index of 0. That's all. That's all. So the index of 0.
Alright, thank you.
Is it? I think we've already done how to change it. You cannot use it to change the last one. If you want to change the first one, I think we've done that before, right? You just call the index here, and then you assign something, right? So this is it. You cannot use this pattern to change the first one. I think what you need to do is for here, profession, then call the, let's say, one chain number 01 oriented, data oriented, then assign it to data visual, just data visual. Sorry. So you can change this to, this has to be in a stream, data management. All right. So let's console the log, console dot log profession. Let's comment on this. So you see that we have data management, right? Have you seen it? Data management. So basically that's how you can update, you can change, you can play around with it. So let's move on to the next. Any question again? I think I've done the 10 question. So let's move on to the next. We have a lot to cover. Cover data.
Okay, sir, I was thinking using array.line, the array.splice method you introduced before will be better off in replacing elements.
Yes, you can use that as well. Okay. It all depends on what works for you. Yeah, it all depends on what works for you. So that's me. I like technical stuff. So these are I change my own. Even in my when I'm building app, this is how I do it. I like doing things hard way. So you need to also learn the hard way. So we'll move on to the next. We've done data type. That's just 2 out of 4. So next we are going to, what we are going to be doing next is loop, right? Loop. I'm only going to do loop. So we are going to do loop, and then in that loop, okay, let's just do switch statements, right? So switch statement, then after that move on to loop. Let me check, hold on, let me terminate this class.